Shoot.
Right, Edrica clams, duck's nipples,
Mama says
get
that
them
if
while
there
they're
was really,
hooked,
but I mean
spiral
really
pixies,
bad.
wren's tongues,
That is
on
made of
sale
stone.
now. Come and get them.
The archer, that's what I like. Maybe this year they'll pop off another onlooker. To be born into sun is to be born into Christ.
Geralt, well, I'll be... Have you decided to turn knight-errant?
All jesting aside, here on a job. You in the 22?
Am I? Ha! I shall square off against Renfan of Atre. I saw him just moments ago. A nervous wreck. Stuffing his nose with fish steak, no less. As if that would aid his determination.
Guessing that's against the rules.
But who's to tell the Nilfgaardian what to do? Listen, Geralt. I've a tip for you. The timing of your marksmanship duel is such that you shall have the sun in your eyes.
Makes no difference to me either way.
Nor will it give you any pleasure. Since, as it is, we must both wait, play me in a round of Gwent. Should you win, I shall swap with you. To me, a southerner, the sun is no hindrance.
Thanks. Another time, maybe.
Ha! You've denied me some diversion, but at the least my eyes are in for a treat. Lady Vivian should appear shortly.
Fair knights, I salute you. The honor and duty of tourney patron have fallen to me this year. Fight honorably, so that I may bestow upon one of your number the tourney's grand prize. You have sworn your vows. You have readied body and soul. The time has come to test them.
Behold Horm Akispark of the Mechtian royal line. His name's quite the mouthful, a true challenge to rhyme. His targets to be hit centrally and true are the ones in blue. Against him new blood, a knight unknown till now. Sir Geralt of Rivia, give us a bow. The targets he must with his quarrels thread are red. May the better man win. Like a lover ghostly grasping but one fair cheek, Geralt's heart strewn with joyous victory and bitter defeat. Geralt jumps ahead, leaves the others behind. Do I see this falsely? Am I out of my mind? Akispark wins! Yet are those tears in his eyes? Perhaps his heart yearns for a lover's soft sighs. Sir Geralt of Rivia did not give his best. He failed, missed his marks, and did not pass the test.
Blast that kind of luck. In the interim, I managed to determine which tent Lady Vivian occupies. Perhaps you could find a clue within it.
You're right. Vivian's cursed in some way. Sensed it when she opened the tourney.
In that case, we've no time to lose. Let us go.
Yeah, let's go now.
This is her tent. You must look inside. Search it. I shall hoot like an owl should someone approach. Oh, fair Vivian. Thou hast dove's eyes within thy locks. Thy lips are like a thread of scarlet. Thy two breasts are like...
Claw marks, that's clear. Not sure what beast left them, just that it's big. Clothing's all dark green and yellow. Seems Yen's not the only one with a fixed color scheme. His sensorial feather. Used to make comfort as a pet? No sign of it here, if so. Bruxay tend to be fond of birds. Vivian keep a bird as a pet? No sign of it here, if so.
Someone approaches. Quickly!
You were supposed to hoot.
We shall speak later. We must return to the tourney now. It's time for the second contest.
Sirs, what seeks you in my latest tent? Inspiration? Begone from here!
tourney business. Nothing of import.
The flower of chivalry. Strapping lads. Congratulations on your victory in the tourney, Sir Garrett of Rivia.
Dragon's eyes on a stick! Come and get it! Fresh and wholesome! Behold, gallant knights and ladies decorous! Gaze at the host assembled before us! Look upon chivalry's best and most storied! Come from far lands, here to seek glory! Hear now their names as I shout them aloud! Savor their titles, of their presence be proud! Halmarin, the Baron of Longfall! Linus of Metida! Rainfarn of Atra! Horm Akaspark of Meicht! Donimir of Troy! Guy de Boisfren, in service to the Duchess! Delwyn of Craigiau! Count Tai of Dondal! Ansay of Lyria and Rivia a prince! Geralt of Rivia! For Gregoire of Montgorgon, let out a roaring cheer! The faint fire of silence, tawny champion from last year! Today's winner of contests, his victory to secure, shall face a Gregoire in a challenge severe! Does ignorance demand a bard intercede? Does someone need telling how tourneys proceed?
How dare you enter a tourney for nobly born knights? Your knighthood came through the grace of my mother, Meath, Queen of Lyria and Rivia, whom you treacherously deserted mere days later. Your presence here is an offense to my honor.
And yours is an offense to my eyes. If you're done, step aside, Prince.
The tourney's protector, the mate Vivian. Her beauty entrances both beasts and men.
My heart's greetings, dear knights. May my grace guide you and show you the path of honor, valor, and glory. Accept my wishes of good fortune, sir, and devote all your strength to the tourney, and only it.
The time has come for you, Sir Knight. Mount your steed. Swift be your flight.
Ladies and gentlemen of lineage illustrious, soon steeds shall swarm like ants most industrious. To beat time's passage they'll ride like the gale. What a sight to behold, what a lark, what a tale! Before us Geralt from Rivia come, fast as the wind, bright as the sun. He's up! We the thunderous roar, whose pounds the ground. No legion of drummers could make such a sound.
monsters, wildcats, bandits, tremble all, for I come!
Hey there.
A failure, a loss, a tragic trip. Let us hope with its sword he makes no such slip.
Come with me to the feast. We shall await Vivian together, wine in hand.
Lead the way.
So, any thoughts on Vivian?
Her beauty's striking.
That is not what I ask.
Still too early to say anything I'd be willing to stand behind. Found some clues. Got me wondering if your beloved Vivian's not a Bruxa.
A Bruxa? You mean a vampiress?
Not sure yet.
We've still some time before Vivian arrives. Let us drink. To Vivian, may you find the means to aid her.
To Vivian.
When I first laid eyes on her, I finally understood what all those poems and ballads were trying to say.
Love's not poetry alone. Sometimes it's prose. Sometimes it's just plain ugly.
You say that only because you do not know Vivian as I do. A life with her would be sweetness itself.
Actually, you don't know her all that well either.
Your presence at this tourney is an affront to my honor. I demand satisfaction.
Head to the nearest brothel, then.
Coward. Mounted combat in the main arena. I challenge you.
Got business to finish here. We'll duel another day.
You cannot refuse another man's challenge. It is dishonorable. You would be excluded from the tourney. Then what will become of Vivian?
Coward.
Fine. Main arena. See you there.
May the blood I will spill wash away the stain of your cowardice!
Let's get this over with. Quick.
3, 2, 1! The gods have seen fit to punish you for your cowardice.
Yada yada, you won, whatever. Now let me explain something. Had to abandon your mother's camp back then because someone else needed my help. Badly. Couldn't refuse them. Didn't want to, in fact.
You mean to say you had a secret mission, set off to accomplish it, having vowed to tell no one of its nature until you did?
Something like that, minus the vow. And, I'd still rather not divulge the nature of my secret mission. Can you accept that as justification?
In agreeing to duel, you proved yourself a true knight. Thus, I accept your word as that of a man of honor.
Glad to hear it. Now I got work to do.
My heart swells to behold this beautiful celebration of valor and honor, and to witness you, who embody the chivalric virtues in your lives, strive for greatness. Yet, after a time of combat must come a time of peace and respite. Thus, I invite all who fought in the tourney to this feast held in your, and none other's, honor. And should any among you crave solitude, private tents await you nearby. The group melee shall take place on the morrow. Glory shall be within grasp for each and every one of you. The best among you shall have the honor to face our reigning champion, the famed Gregoire de Gourgon, victor of last year's tourney. Celebrate, make merry, revel as you will, yet be mindful of the trial that awaits you tomorrow.
Follow her. We shall meet in your tent before your last contest. You must help her.
That grey-domed scoundrel, ever-seeking Lady Vivienne. Some kind of maniac.
I shall be famous one day, as famous as you.
Strange. Was sure I'd find her here. Vanished. Melted into thin air. And that bird. She a Bruxa? flew off. Worth going after. Looks like the bird's leading me somewhere.
Witcher.
Lady Vivian? Counted on me getting lost.
I did. I thought you no different from the knights. Good at tourneys, hopeless in the face of true danger. I was mistaken.
So you're not actually a Bruxa.
A what?
Suspicion I had that you might be a vampire. Certain details seemed to confirm it. Then I changed my mind. Anyway, unimportant. Hear you come to this clearing often.
This is where it all began. And as I was not able to evade you, save myself from you, then I want it done here. In this very spot. With no witnesses.
Want what done?
Why, you are a witcher. You were hired to kill me, were you not? Then do so, now. And do it quickly, I beg you. I shan't resist.
Witchers only hunt monsters. And even then, not all. You're no monster.
Then what am I to your eyes?
Only thing I've figured out so far is you're no danger to anyone. Hope to learn more, though.
If you've no contract on my life, why take an interest at all? Did Guillaume put you up to it? Is that why?
He wanted to help you. Asked me to do him a favor. Frankly, if I can do something for you, I'll do it, willingly.
Why should I trust you?
'Cause the Duchess trusts me? 'Cause I'm a freak, too? 'Cause cases like yours are my bread and butter? Take your pick.
You shall not turn on me. Use what I say against me. You shall not tell anyone?
You got nothing to fear. Came here to help you, and I won't peep a word to anyone unless I decide it's absolutely necessary.
So be it. I shall tell you what my mama once told me. When she was with child, expecting me, she and my father spent much time together near the wood, here in this clearing. Mama loved to listen to the orioles sing. She would stroke her belly and say, "My daughter should be as beautiful as that bird. Such is my wish." But a creature dwelt in the wood who envied my parents their happiness. One day it appeared before them to say the whole wood belonged to it, and they had dared to delight in something that was not theirs. It demanded payment, and when my parents said that they had nothing, it claimed their unborn daughter as its own.
Parents ever describe the creature?
They called it a nymph born of the deep woods, with no mother or father. But I was too young, too distraught by the curse's onset to ask after details.
Parents ever describe the creature?
They called it a nymph born of the deep woods, with no mother or father. But I was too young, too distraught by the curse's onset to ask after details.
What happened after that?
Nothing at first. I came into the world a perfectly normal child, and my parents forgot that day's events. But 15 summers into my life, the curse began to show. Initially only when the moon was full, but now it's advanced so that even in daytime I must use magic ointment to mask its symptoms, to look normal. Thus I thought someone had discovered my secret, then hired you to kill me. In fact, I was resigned to death in coming here. Perhaps death would be preferable to my complete and permanent transformation, for I fear that is what lies in store.
Ointment you use includes a potent magic ingredient. You don't have the immunity mages have. Use heavy doses, or normal doses too long, and it could be dangerous to you.
I sensed this. The very reason I knew I would have to give it up in the end, and bid my human form a final farewell.
The curse. It could be reversible. Once ran into a baron transformed into a cormorant, ostensibly for good. Managed to cure him completely.
And you truly think you could do something like this for me?
Can't guarantee a thing. Tough case, yours. You were cursed before birth. That alone complicates things. Also, you claim the curse is increasing its hold. Symptoms are progressing. Could try transferring the curse onto someone else.
What? Out of the question. I shall not allow it to ruin an innocent's life. Is this the only method you know?
Only one that's completely safe.
So there is another.
Pretty quick to reject help. Why is that? The curse once transferred would probably have a weaker hold on a new host. Lots weaker.
I do not even wish to hear of it.
All right, there is another. Ancient ritual. We'd need an Oriole egg. Should release the curse's grip permanently. Gotta warn you, though. Could have serious consequences.
Consequences? What kind?
Curse was cast before you came into this world. Ritual involved transferring it to an as-yet unhatched chick. You'd be free. Thing is, you could be left with the average lifespan of an Oriole.
7 years. I understand. Alas, every rose has its thorn, and there are no happy endings. Yet truth be told, I never thought I would get one. I came here prepared to die, yet you wish to give me 7 years of life. Real life, free life. This is no dilemma. I agree, wholeheartedly.
I see why. I understand. Don't have to decide just yet. Think it through.
I will. They must miss me at the tourney grounds by now. Shall we return?
Let's. But are you gonna...
Yes. I cannot appear there all in feathers. Pardon me for a moment.
You can change at will?
No, but I discovered the water of this pool helps. Its effects are brief, but I can always be sure of them.
Interesting.
Come.
Did you learn anything?
Yeah.
Then speak, man. Can you not see I'm out of my mind with worry? What ails her?
She asked me not to talk about it.
But I want only the best for her. Perhaps I shall be able to help, or, I don't know, console her at the least.
Vivian gave me the details of her situation, but she did so in confidence. Promised I wouldn't tell anyone.
But I'm not just anyone. Why, I would do anything for her. I was the one to ask you to help her. You cannot shut me out now.
I'm sorry. Look, in time Vivian will come to understand what she owes you. I'm sure of it. But until then, you gotta understand the whole world doesn't revolve around you.
How dare you lecture me? This is not the aid I sought. And to think I gave up my spot in the tourney to you, I regret it now. Do you even intend to compete to the end? Or now that you've bound Vivian to your terms, you no longer see the need?
I don't back out of anything. I'll take part in the last skirmish. Besides, Vivian will be busy till the tourney's end.
Indeed. In that case, you must meet the other knights of your team. They await near the arena's entrance, by the training ground.
Got it. Thanks.
I know now the two teams' rosters. I shall be captain of ours. That means you shall do as I say for the duration of the fight. Is this clear? Palmer and Alonso will lead the opposing team. With this skirmish, we commemorate the Battle of Fox Hollow of 1218, when a hands of southern outlaws led by Haller the Brown attacked Tucson only to be driven off by brave knights, thus setting a precedent. Since that day, knights-errant have guarded the duchy's borders. Palmerin drew the short straw, so his team shall play the barbarian Haller's men. Any questions?
None.
I doubt you will do us any good. You know nothing of knightly combat as a witcher. Try at least to stay out of our way.
It is time, gentlemen. Take your weapons and proceed to the arena.
A cheer for the knights, the ladies, the lords. For our next entertainment, the teams shall cross swords. 2 rifle crews, 2 coteries shall fight full tilt till one's dropped to its knees. Who virtue ignores or lance blows unclean shall forever be branded as shameful, obscene. While the knights prepare, let me say I'm elated to behold such a crowd on edge, breath-baited. Whoever here wins the past champion shall face. All others must leave, heads bowed in disgrace. Let us begin! Count Resaracus! Blood, sweat, tears shall soon follow in buckets.
How long are you gonna make me wait?
The lone girl stands, alone in fight on, but inside does weep for those who have gone.
Lost your nerve?
Never retreat, not one step, not one. thorn to the heart, only more painful.
Come on, come closer. What? Lost your nerve?
The world's never seen a fight quite so glorious. For showing such verve, each knight was victorious. Yet in tourneys as in life, but one champion may reign. Today he is the one. Praised be his name. He felt a whole host, slew the most. Palmerin de Longfall and Gregoire de Gorgon, two knights of high valor shall fight to be champion. Geralt of Rivia shall not stand in La Belle. Though hopes he raised high, of victory short, he fell. To the tired remainder, we salute your endeavors. Return to your wives, your loves, your whomevers.
Greetings, my lady. Have you decided?
I have. I stand by all I have said. I wish to endanger no one, and thus choose the method involving an egg. If it's to be the egg of an oriole, I know where to find one. There is a nest in my clearing. Might you explain the nature of the ritual? Its exact course?
Sure, but seems you're tense grown ears. Show yourself, Guillaume. Can hear you breathing, and I know damn well it's you.
Why are you here, sir? This is a private audience. Geralt, what is the meaning of this? Is this some scheme you've hatched unbeknownst to me?
No, no scheming involved. Guillaume hired me, but this matter relates to you, not him. Didn't invite him here in any case. Actually surprised he showed up.
My lady, I live to serve you. Whatsoever you require, you need but beckon. I am yours to command.
Are you quite finished? Is that all you wish to say?
I suppose so.
So you shall do what I command, sir. Very well, then. Listen carefully. Leave this tent, turn towards the duchy's northern marches, and run. Run until the tourney grounds are no longer within sight. Return only once you've cooled off. Then leave me be forevermore. Understood?
My lady, but your troubles. I only wish the Witcher see.
Out now!
You assured me I could trust you.
I kept your secret. Didn't tell him anything he didn't already know.
I understand he hired you, so you had to report to him. But this is not his affair, Geralt. This is my life.
Absolutely sure you did the right thing? Not too hasty rejecting his help? Can't conduct the ritual using your reflection without him. Needed someone who'd willingly assume the curse in your stead.
And you thought I would agree to this? No, Geralt. When we spoke in the meadow, you told me of a ritual which required no lusty knights to aid us. This is the method I wish to pursue.
Need to find an egg, preferably an Oriole's. Ritual itself isn't complicated, but like I said before, there'll be a side effect. Still sure you want to go through with it?
Yes. I saw a nest in the clearing where we spoke. But before we go, tell me, what will become of the chick?
We'll have to break the egg. Like you said, not everyone gets a happy ending.
And for a dream to come true, there must be sacrifices. Very well. Let us go. This is the place.
Stand back. I'll take care of this. Eggs fell on a moss patch. They're fine except for one. It's cracked.
Will it do?
Think so.
Now what must I do?
Just to be sure, gonna ask one last time. Positive you want to do this? If we succeed, the changes will be irreversible. You'll probably also only have 7 years left to live, at the most.
7 years free of the fear that someone might spy me at the wrong moment? Of the stigma of being a freak, a monster? 7 years of a life both true and unfettered. Yes, Geralt. I'm certain I wish to do it.
All right. You need to concentrate now. Repeat after me. Muna gandrau, muna finerat.
Muna gandrau, muna finerat. Muna gandrau, muna finerat. Muana gandrau, muana finerat.
Damn it.
Geralt, look! Look! Oh, gods! I shall be able to attend balls. I shall travel to Oxenfurt, to Novigrad even. Thank you, Witcher.
Ought to thank Guillaume. He's the one hired me. To help you.
Yes, I'm grateful to him as well, immensely. Will you tell him so for me?
Should tell him yourself, don't you think?
Perhaps I should, but I would prefer not to. Convey my gratitude to him in my stead. Please, be so kind.
Sure, I'll tell him. Farewell, Vivian. Faster. Hey there. Whoa there, Roach. Come on. Come on, Roach. Come on.
no fuss! Water, no wine!
Witcher act always.
I pledge my love to win the tourney, with your name on my lips.
But what if another night?
Geralt, what of Vivian?
Managed to lift her curse.
Truly? So all will be well. Her troubles are done?
Asked me to give you a message. Said she's grateful. Thanks to you, she can live a normal life.
Good, good. But how does she fare?
Method she chose worked. Thing is, she might only live for a few years more. 7 or so, most likely. Though I could be wrong.
You had better be. You failed me, Witcher. I placed my trust in you and...
It was Vivian's decision. Wanted to do it her way. Can't blame me for that. Got this bard friend. Philosopher too, I guess. Amateur. He'd say, if you love somebody, set them free.
Do you know what, Geralt? You earned your reward, so take it. But keep your advice to yourself. Adieu.
A fruitful hunt to you, Witcher. Watch it. Problems? Hire a Witcher. It's a good thing you've come.
There's naught to be done about them.
Move it! Let's go!
Witcher. That could bring me in trouble. The gods partook of the Weinerswen.
Whoa there, Roach.
Spare a copper or two.
The duchy as a whole suffers from a disconnect with reality.
What's going on there?
Not so fast, Roach.
Regis!
Damn it. Locked. No way I got the place wrong. This is it. Gotta be. Gotta be another way in around here. Victuals aplenty around here. Decaying bones. Kikimores must have tunneled into the grave. Kicking more eggs. Need to incinerate these to ash. That's some stench. Agreed to meet a vampire at a cemetery. How much more cliché can you get?
Nothing comes readily to mind.
Could have left the door unlatched.
What of my privacy? I value it rather deeply. Unmolested, especially by unwanted guests, that's my preferred state. Besides, I knew you'd find a way to get in.
True enough. Need to find your friend. I'm hoping you'll agree to help.
I shall do whatever's in my power. Yet what you want or even need must matter little. What matters is what Dettlaff wants. If he does not wish to be found, you will not find him. Ever. End of story.
Come on. Gotta be some way.
Vampires can evade detection by the senses, and no divination magic works on us. Even the most precise megascope would be useless.
And this? Could this help?
Wherever did you get that?
Off one of the beast's victims, found by a bend in the river. Body was chopped in pieces. 3 of those pieces were hands. Hand with the ring seemed the odd one out. Abruxa had taken an interest in it.
It's Dettlaff's hand, without a doubt. It will do splendidly.
The hand. What do you plan to do with it?
You've heard of Kovinaris' theory of tissue memory retention.
Rings a distant bell. Read about it in Alchemia Oblitera. There's a copy of Kaer Morhen, tattered, nearly disintegrated. But if memory serves, Kovinaris never managed to prove it worked.
He did prove it, just never managed to publish his findings. He and I corresponded, you see, after we became friends. Thus, I know he completed his research and performed the first tests. It's complicated, so without delving into details, it is possible to use any piece of tissue to reconstruct what a whole body experienced.
How's it work? We need any special equipment?
We must brew a decoction which Kovinaris gave a rather poetic name, resonance. Once imbibed, it sends one into a trance similar to that induced by narcotics. This triggers visions of events linked to strong emotions experienced by the tissue's owner. Picture it as dreaming a fragment of someone's life.
Any chance we might see what Dettlaff was doing just before he lost his hand?
Indeed. Though I also hope resonance will reveal the location of Dettlaff's hideout.
Ring's pretty intriguing. Made of no metal I've ever seen. And the ornamentation.
It comes from our home, where we lived before the conjunction of spheres. It's actually mine. I received it from a dear old friend. You might call him a humanist. He saw us vampires as guests here, guests who owe their hosts, meaning you humans and the elder races, respect.
Respect? Meaning not to treat us like cattle to be slaughtered for food?
Precisely. And the reason why I in turn gave it to Dettlaff. To remind him of the ideals my old friend championed.
Can't you just summon Dettlaff? You're both hired vampires, there's gotta be a way.
If I'm to be entirely candid, there is indeed one. But believe me, we will be better off never availing ourselves of it. It is a last resort. Absolutely.
Last resort? The hell? Why?
There is a being who can summon Dettlaff. Possesses the authority, even the power, to force him to appear in a given place. But the very act of contacting this being, well, it's akin to walking a slack line extended over a chasm filled with molten lava. An exercise as perilous to me as it would be to you. A risk I'm unwilling to take. I beg you, let's do it my way. It will be both quicker and easier.
Can't you just summon Dettlaff? You're both hired vampires, there's gotta be a way.
If I'm to be entirely candid, there is indeed one. But believe me, we will be better off never availing ourselves of it. It is a last resort. Absolutely.
Last resort? The hell? Why?
There is a being who can summon Dettlaff. Possesses the authority, even the power, to force him to appear in a given place. But the very act of contacting this being, well, it's akin to walking a slack line extended over a chasm filled with molten lava. An exercise as perilous to me as it would be to you. A risk I'm unwilling to take. I beg you, let's do it my way. It will be both quicker and easier.
Covenarius spent half his life proving his theory. Wild guess. Making a dose of resonance won't be easy.
You guessed correctly. In addition to Dettlaff's tissue, we shall need a powerful occipital lobe stimulant. Effectively a poison, to make one susceptible to visions.
Well, got a few ingredients to choose from. Unfortunately, all are pretty... There's Mamoon glands. The closest ones I know of are in Vizima. A spotted white saliva would also serve, but they were cold to extinction over a century ago. Could go with a kobold's eyes, but the creatures are sentient. Rather not gouge one's eyes out.
Given that we lack the time to sleuth this out ourselves, permit me to summon some help.
was that?
A raven? Rather a common sight at this latitude. Very intelligent fowl. I asked him to look for the creatures you mentioned. Him and his brethren. Perhaps they'll find one in the area, and I would hazard that a flock of ravens will spy any said creature faster than a solitary witcher would. With all due respect to your skills, my friend. It will take them some time, nonetheless, so perhaps you'd care for a snifter of mandrake.
Rarely say no to a snifter.
Sadly, this is but a weak infusion rather than a proper distillate.
Even better. I remember your mandrake hooch. Made people say things they'd have rather kept to themselves.
Now, what could Geralt of Rivia prefer to keep to himself?
Guess you missed my point, Regis. I was glad to hear it's not the hooch, because I don't want to talk about what I don't want to talk about.
Oh, I understood you far better than you think. Allow me to reveal a secret. My mandrake distillate possesses no particular tongue-loosening powers. Those who drink it and talk simply have burdens they wish to lift off their shoulders. The hooch is but a convenient excuse, a cover that justifies their sudden candidness to themselves.
All right, you first. Any burdens you want to unload? Vampires lead highly interesting lives. Bet you've got some good secrets.
Anything in particular interest you?
Curious what you did after you were reborn.
As I'm sure you can surmise, at first I was thoroughly absorbed with recovering. As it is, I've still not recovered completely. Yet I was so weak the first year that I could not stand nor move on my own. Detlef bore my weakness bravely, showed great patience. If not for him, I wouldn't be here, and I'd have regenerated far slower. Once I could at last stand unassisted, I set off for Bruges, for my one-time home of Dillingen. There I led the peaceful life of a rural healer and surgeon, enjoying my neighbours' respect and, in fact, constituting the exact opposite of the monstrous vampire the populace imagines.
Bruges, you say? Rebirth make you sentimental?
Perhaps a dash. But what of you? Where have you been? Ever find your Cyrilla?
Back then, yeah. But we parted again soon after. Curious what you did after you were reborn.
As I'm sure you can surmise, at first I was thoroughly absorbed with recovering. As it is, I've still not recovered completely. Yet I was so weak the first year that I could not stand nor move on my own. Detlef bore my weakness bravely, showed great patience. If not for him, I wouldn't be here, and I'd have regenerated far slower. Once I could at last stand unassisted, I set off for Bruges, for my one-time home of Dillingen. There I led the peaceful life of a rural healer and surgeon, enjoying my neighbours' respect and, in fact, constituting the exact opposite of the monstrous vampire the populace imagines.
Bruges, you say? Rebirth make you sentimental?
Perhaps a dash. But what of you? Where have you been? Ever find your Cyrilla?
Back then, yeah. But we parted again soon after. Gotta ask you the big question, one everyone wonders about. What happens after death?
You wish me to tell you if the human belief in the gods is well founded? Well, that I do not know. We vampires differ exceedingly from you humans. Our matter, that of which we are composed, can exist without form. We require neither a heart, nor a brain, nor air to breathe.
But were you dead?
As humans understand death, yes.
Feel anything? Understand anything?
It's rather hard to explain. I felt something very unsettling. Something I cannot even name, for I did no reasoning. Only after rebirth did I begin to understand that what I had felt was cold and unimaginable fear. If not for Dettlaff, I might have drowned in an eternity of icy terror.
Can't have been alive then. Sheesh, experience like that must be vicious.
Indeed, it's hard to compare to anything I know. Yet you are aware we don't see death as you do. The way you cling to life, we find it entirely peculiar. You are mortals, ergo it's a foregone conclusion. You will die. It's but a question of time. Thus, I often find myself wondering why you try so very hard. To die at 20 years, 40, even 100, what's the difference? They're all but the blink of an eye.
Depends on your point of view. Man who's got 1,000,000 crowns to spend can't possibly understand one who's only got 20.
Very true. One's outlook can indeed change much.
Got a new life, new body. That give you a new start, blank slate?
Starting all anew is a very broad concept. What did you mean?
Your blood addiction, say. Wondering if your body's the same, if it still remembers. Maybe if you drank now, you wouldn't get hooked.
All addictions are a form of slavery. Re-addiction's not a risk I'm willing to take, just to test a hypothesis about corporeal regeneration and whether propensities carry over.
Fair enough. Curiosity, that's all. Sorry.
Not to worry, Geralt. Curiosity is a natural reaction under the circumstances, apart from which I've always valued that trait in you.
Always fascinated me the way vampires can regenerate. A hand growing back is one thing, but Dettlaff recreating you out of a wet smear? Something else entirely.
A difficult and laborious process, but one that's possible, as my presence proves. But I've heard you too had quite the adventure. They say you lost your memory.
For a bit, but Triss helped me get it back. Actually, pretty damn lucky I only had amnesia.
Yes, you humans are rather buggered in those terms. To strip you of life is, well, just plain easy. I've always pitied you in that regard. We vampires are much harder nuts to crack. If a member of another race kills one of us, we can be reborn with a living higher vampire's help. However, if one of our own strikes the deadly blow, death is permanent. There can be no rebirth. One of the chief reasons why vampires long ago swore never to fight one another.
All right, give you one question. What do you want to know?
One question to ask one as fascinating as you, Geralt. Cruel parsimony, I'd say, but I shall do my best to make it count. If you were to die and be reborn as I was, in your new life, would you choose to be a witcher?
see, Regis. Doubt I'd know how to be anything else.
Ever tried?
See, you're determined to get an answer, to find out if I like being a witcher. Just refuse to ask directly, as always. I like being on the path. I like picking up a lead, a trail. I like the tension right before a fight. And nothing gets my adrenaline flowing like battling a beast. Even gotten used to people treating me like a freak, an outcast. Yeah, not something I think about much, but I like being a witcher.
Thank you for being honest. Honesty is an attribute of the truly brave, and thus a privilege of the very few.
Still no sign of your winged friend. Sure it understood what you wanted?
Dead certain. Let's wait a bit longer. It'll return soon, don't doubt that for a moment. Ever vigilant, even in his sleep. Quite vampire-like, in fact. Are you absolutely certain they don't administer a few of our genes during the trial of the grasses?
Appreciate the compliment. Got something for me?
You were right. No kobolds or mamoons for miles around.
Knew it.
Allow me to finish. You see, there's this spotted white. It haunts an abandoned residence in the Caraberta woods.
Impossible. My brethren hunted down every last spotted white before I was born.
Then it seems you must revise your knowledge of spotted whites. For somehow this one managed to survive your brethren's onslaught. It seems I know this home it haunts. Recall a tale about it. Locals believe the place cursed. Perhaps that's how the white survived entirely unmolested.
Know anything else about this curse?
I don't recall much in particular. Really don't attach much importance to such things. It was mentioned to me as an anecdote, no more.
Come on, search your memory. Something, anything could be important.
I believe it had a relation to hunger, or, perhaps greed, rapacity. Someone was punished for something...
Textbook definition of a curse, pretty much.
Sorry, Geralt, I try not to clutter my mind with the details of every far-fetched tale I happen to hear. What are your thoughts?
A specimen of a species thought long extinct, and a curse, in one place. That a coincidence, or are they related?
Ah, professional curiosity. Personally, I've nothing against you delving into this dilemma, but please remember we need the white's saliva. Nothing beyond that.
Know anything else about this curse?
I don't recall much in particular. Really don't attach much importance to such things. It was mentioned to me as an anecdote, no more.
Come on, search your memory. Something, anything could be important.
I believe it had a relation to hunger, or, perhaps greed, rapacity. Someone was punished for something...
Textbook definition of a curse, pretty much.
Sorry, Geralt, I try not to clutter my mind with the details of every far-fetched tale I happen to hear. What are your thoughts?
A specimen of a species thought long extinct, and a curse, in one place. That a coincidence, or are they related?
Ah, professional curiosity. Personally, I've nothing against you delving into this dilemma, but please remember we need the white's saliva. Nothing beyond that.
Whites rarely appear in the woods, even less likely to find them in abandoned human homes. They inhabit remote wildernesses, old abandoned cemeteries.
What's your point?
This might not be a spotted white after all. Your little helper might have made a mistake.
I sincerely doubt it. Ravens are devilishly intelligent creatures, and they've highly developed observational skills.
What exactly did they observe?
The area around the estate. It's covered in spoons.
Spoons?
Spare me the skeptical smile. I'm but the bearer of this news. Or perhaps this spotted white is a hoarder. Or the spoons are somehow related to the curse.
Let's do this. Start making your decoction while I go get some saliva from that white. Uses it in its brews.
Do you imagine the white will simply sell you some?
Worst case scenario, I'll bring you its salivary glands. They ought to do as well.
For a moment there, I imagined you asking the white to spit into a vial. Quite amusing as a thought, but the salivary glands will do fine indeed.
So, see you later.
Yes, till later. I shall start by perusing some tomes.
Tomes? Thought you were gonna make this decoction.
We require one last ingredient. Alas, obtaining it could prove a trifle toilsome. Thus, I hope to identify a suitable alternative.
All right. Good luck.
And to you, my friend.